Listen, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. I'm about to drop a YouTube gem. Now, I usually record at a store because it has good Wi-Fi. And where I live, the Wi-Fi, as far as running lives, I have problems. I try to do multiple lives, have problems. So I found my perfect trap. So when it's all said and done, what is a trap? Trap is slang for you corner the market. That's how I look at a trap. It's not like you're in a trap, but you find a place that's a hot spot and you double down on that hot spot. Now, the security guard, he overstepped his boundaries. At the end of the day, I didn't curse him out. I just said, what are you gonna do? He said nothing. I was like, hit him with the OT Mexican. Now, when it's all said and done, shout out to OT Mexican. Now, he drove off. It is what it is, because he know he was wrong. Listen, people could call who they want to call, but they decided to live by that store. So if they decided to live by that store, they should have thought about Mr. Keep It Simple coming and set up trap. At the end of the day, I only set up my trap in the suburbs. I'm not Jadakiss. I'm not Malibu's most wanted. I don't have anything to prove. So I set up my trap in the suburbs. I don't care what anybody says. Listen, the suburbs is the best setup. Because when you're in the suburbs, it's better than a Las Vegas strip. So it's the best setup, corner down the market, and do your thing. And you got to know your rights as a YouTuber. If you're not doing anything bad, don't let anybody try to play your face. See, the thing about me is people think that I'm young, but I don't care. I was going to grow my facial hair out, but I decided not to because it's hot. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to walk around with no facial hair in the desert. So some people see me and some people don't really think I'm 39, but it's none of my business. You guys have to understand, find your hot spot. Literally, find your hot spot. And I found my hot spot and we're going to keep on doubling down. So if they got a problem at, because the dude saw me at 12 a.m. I went to the gym, worked out, came back to the trap at 1:30. Listen, when I tell you guys I used to be literally in the streets, people don't think I was in the streets, but that's cool. But that's how you do. It doesn't matter. That's your trap. The suburbs is the same as North Ave. The suburbs is the same as Monument Street. The suburbs is the same as Greektown. You just set up your trap and it is what it is. You feel me? And you corner the market, double down, and it is what it is. Run up your content, get your euros, make your M's, and go to whatever country. It's a process. But when it's all said and done, a lot of people, they are not with this generational run of social media. Most older people, they don't know what social media is. So if they see somebody just talking on their phone, they probably think, oh, that person has mental health issues and they're scared. But let me tell you guys something about the quote unquote middle class. At the end of the day, they think they're the only ones that exist. And I'm just here to say, listen, know your rights. Rock a 30-minute live. I mean, these lives was literally running up. So at the end of the day, if I drop a live and I see 23K, what you think I'm going to do? I'm going to work on these biceps, then I'm going to go back to the trap, double down. That's what it is, you feel me? And now I'm going to take it down and I'm going to rest. But when it's all said and done, always make sure that you are on public property. If you are on public property, a security guard cannot say anything if you're on public property. Now, if you're on private property, that's the difference. As a YouTuber, you have to know the difference between public property and private property. That's public property. I could run up a Rolls Royce at my trap. I could double down. I could get a Rolls Royce there. Great Wi-Fi. I done try to go live multiple times and people are like, we can't hear you. I done try to go live multiple places, going in and out. So if I find my spot, guess what? Listen, I don't care about what anybody has to say. I got to eat on these streets. And I treat it just like the streets. I don't really work while I rest my head. It is what it is. So I'll drop videos. That's dedication for my people, FLS, you feel me? When it's all said and done, and it's crazy, I don't see skin color. I don't care what security guard it was. It just happened to be a melanated man. And he drove off with an attitude, but it's like, yo, he didn't even ask me, what are you doing? Like, what is this about? He just said, how long you gonna be? He doesn't even know if I live there. You don't gotta disclose any information if you don't want to. At the end of the day, this dude makes me want to actually move over there. You got to understand, when you got resources, you can actually move. You could just you got to understand, I might just move over there. I could if I want to, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I love my neighborhood, but at the end of the day, my neighborhood, when I go live out, listen, my neighborhood is beautiful. That video where I showed you the cactus, listen, let me show you my neighborhood. This is my neighborhood right here. But at night, I don't have any lighting. But even if I try to go live over here in the daytime, with Verizon, it's a dead spot. I guess that's what you call it. It's a dead spot. So I can't even go live where I live, because that's another thing too as a YouTuber. Depending on your carrier, you might run into issues as a YouTuber. But the beauty of a YouTuber is if you find that sweet spot, I'm here to tell you, run that sweet spot up. And where I'm at, it's not a problem. But at the end of the day, somebody probably made a phone call because they see me talking to a phone. They can make all the phone calls they want to. I'm going to finish when I finish. My goal is when I rock a live, I want to rock a live for at least 30 minutes. At least 30 minutes. 20-minute huddles, they don't work. I try to rock a live for at least 30 minutes to an hour. So at the end of the day, in my mind, everything is calculated. My goal is to drop that live, get in, get out. And guess what? Listen, it's really a setup operation because I don't live there, but I drop content there. And when I drop content there, after I drop, I roll out. Nothing more, nothing less. Bada bing, tomato, tomato. Don't let these people play with you. At the end of the day, some people in life will try to play with you, but the thing is they have to call a security guard because nobody can really say, what are you doing? I don't have to legally answer to anybody and tell them what that I'm doing. See, a lot of people, they feel they could talk to you. Let me tell you guys something. Nobody owes you a conversation and you owe nobody a conversation. Remember that as a YouTuber. And I'm gonna say this again. Nobody owes you a conversation and you don't owe anybody a conversation. When it's all said and done, we're gonna keep doubling down the whole year. And I'm gonna say this again. I'm setting up over there the whole year, and that's just how it is. And we're gonna run it up, and I'm gonna show you guys step by step, play by play, how to run it up on YouTube. But like I said, my neighborhood, I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel embarrassed about it, but it's a dead spot. And my carrier is not the greatest. So that's what I do. I figure out hot spots, and I'm gonna probably figure out more hot spots. And we probably gonna have 10 to 15 hot spots. But as a YouTuber, you gotta treat it like the streets. You gotta set up your location and make sure your service is good. And you're gonna learn through trial and error. I really used to walk around in the field, but I can't walk around in the field because the Wi-Fi, I don't got Wi-Fi over there. So maybe what I'll do is try to figure out how I could get portable Wi-Fi and trying to keep getting better. But when it's all said and done, this is God's land. And with that being said, shout out to Mexico. A lot of people feel like, oh, this is my neighborhood. No, you pay rent there. Nobody neighborhood is anybody neighborhood. When it's all said and done, I'm gonna share a story with you guys. When I lived in a penthouse on the 25th floor, the elevator broke down. I saw a dude literally sleeping in my stairwell on the 25th floor. And I want to share that story with you because at the end of the day, you will think, how did he get up there in the penthouse? I don't know how he got up there, but guess what? He was literally up there sleeping on the 25th floor. You know what I did? I just walked down 25 flight of stairs. I ain't say nothing. I ain't call security. What is he doing sleeping? Listen, who knows? He probably got kicked out. He probably needed a place to stay. I ain't call security. So at the end of the day, a lot of people that want to be jerk-offs, I'm telling you, 9 out of 10, those are middle-class people who think they're better than people in Section 8 housing, and they're not even running it up. So you got to watch for the middle class, bro. At the end of the day, if you're not in a gated community, and this is why I'm a big advocate for the gated community, because I'm not doing this in a gated community in Paradise Valley. So if it's not a gated community, always keep in mind, anybody could come in your neighborhood. And that's a real conversation that's not being discussed in America. The suburbs is open to anybody. You don't even have to be from the suburbs. You can catch a bus to the suburbs, set up your tripod in the suburbs, and go back to the hood and get out of the hood by using the suburbs for background. Listen, we drive real content. You could come in the suburbs. You don't gotta live here. Come in the suburbs with your tripod, drop your 10 to 15 minute videos, catch your bus back home, upload on your Wi-Fi. You're gonna run it up, and guess what? Then you can move there. So as a YouTuber, see everything as content and opportunity. And when it's all said and done, it's all about your background. I love that background. I'm gonna continue to use that background until I probably got about 10 cars? So at the end of the day, that background could provide me 10 cars. People don't think like me, but at the end of the day, I wanna help YouTubers. So you don't have to be from the suburbs. Long as you're not in a gated community, you good. Just set up your tripod, set up shop, drop 7 to 10 minute videos and run it up. But that's the beauty of a gated community. And that's why I always tell you guys, get to a gated community, because when it's gated, you can't set up shop in a gated. That's where the setup shop ends. Let it breathe. And with that being said, know your rights as a YouTuber. If you're on public property, no security guard can pull up and ask you how long you're going to be. The only reason I really engage with him is because he knows better. I used to be a security guard. He knows better. So with that being said, listen, this is God's land. Anything with a good background is for the money. And I'm going to say this again, get a good background, and that's for the money. Let it breathe.